Hi, today I'm going to discuss about 5 books that changed my life. I will discuss about what I learned in these books and what I apply on a daily basis. The first book I read 2 years ago was Atomic Habits. It's really well written, it's also very inspiring and very motivating. Before I read the book, I knew 2 ways on how to be productive. One was motivation and the second one was discipline. And none of those seems to work for me, because motivation fades away really fast and discipline is quite hard. The third way is to build habits, which are activities we do regularly without even thinking about them. If you can take something that is productive and make it a habit, on the long run you will make huge progress. The biggest change that happened to my life because of this book is the fact that I started reading. I made a habit out of this. To be honest, if I didn't read Atomic Habits, I don't think I would be reading today. Besides reading, it also helps me be consistent with exercising, have a better sleeping routine, also even making YouTube videos. I have some habits that help me be consistent. The next book that changed my life was a book on financial education. It was in Romanian, but you can find many books on financial education that promote the same idea. The main takeaway from this book for me was the 20-50-30% rule. This rule means that you save 20% of the income, you use 50% on expenses, and you use the rest 30% for enjoyment, relaxation, and whatever you want. Depending on the moment in your life, these percentages can be different. Another important lesson from the book is the distribution of the savings. In the first stage, you use this 20% of savings to build a safety pillow that will cover 6 months of expenses, which means that if at some point you lose your job and you don't have any income, you will still be able to comfortably live 6 months. This period should be enough to find another job or to find other ways to generate income. After you build a safety pillow, the next step is to invest. And there is also a smart distribution of investment. What I learned in the book is that it's good to have around 10% investment in risky assets. And before reading the book, I actually had 100% in cryptocurrencies. At the beginning, the crypto portfolio was like 40% plus. But at the moment I was reading the book, it was already 70% minus. And I really saw the importance of this rule. The percentages again can be different depending on your income or age. Since then, I managed to balance my investment portfolio, and I also saved enough money to travel to 10 countries during that year. Third book that changed my life is Mindset. I started reading this book the same way I started reading Atomic Habits. I saw it in recommendations many times. The main idea of the book is that there are people who have growth mindset and people with fixed mindset. Fixed mindset means that all your traits are fixed and you cannot get better. Growth mindset means that you understand that with practice you can get better at any skill. When I started reading the book, I thought, oh, easy, I have a growth mindset, so cool. But then I realized that this mindset is different for different areas of my life. For instance, I realized that I had a pretty fixed mindset when it comes to relationships. On the other hand, I had a growth mindset when it came to learning new skills or self-development. The way I applied the knowledge from this book to my life was first by changing the mindset in a relationship. At some point I realized that all my relationships are the same. They start out well, after some period we start arguing and then we break up. And it was over and over again. So instead of fixing the problem, I was mainly changing the person. After reading this book, I changed my mindset and I understood that it was not the problem of the person, but the problem that I was not willing to put in the effort to solve the problem. Before proposing to my wife, I realized that okay, I found a person for which I am willing to put in additional effort in order to solve the problems. And now we are married for more than 2 years. Another thing we apply from this book is having an imaginary friend or pet called Maurice that is to blame for everything that doesn't go well in the household. If the dishes are not washed, Maurice didn't wash the dishes. If the floor is not vacuumed, Maurice didn't vacuum the floor. This way, instead of blaming each other and running into a vicious circle, we just blame Maurice and then sort things out. After reading several books on financial education, I always had the question, okay, everyone is telling us invest in stocks and you will be a millionaire when you will be 80. But my question always was, when do we sell the stocks? Then I heard about this book called Die with Zero. This book is solving exactly this problem. The purpose of the book is to optimize your life energy. If you die with money in your account, it means that you spent time in order to make money but didn't have enough time to enjoy them. Ideally, everyone one of us will die with zero money in our account. The most popular question that arises is, what about kids? And the answer is just brilliant. You don't have to wait to die in order to give your kids money. You can give them money when you're alive, and they will probably need it more and enjoy it more. Another interesting idea in this book is to invest in memories, because memories, the same way as stock market, gives dividends. Whenever you have a great memory or a great experience, you can share it multiple times with your friends, and every time you will get additional joy from having that experience. The book also explains that $100 means a lot more to you when you are young, and you can enjoy it way more than when you are 60, for example. Which made me change the priorities of the activities I want to do now versus the activities I want to do in the future. After reading this book, I adjusted my investment strategies. I have a new view of the world, and I understand that there is no better time than the present. The fifth book that changed my life is called The Millionaire Fastlane, and it's a really good book that is explaining that you actually don't need to wait to get retired in order to be rich, and you can actually do it in a time span of 5 to 10 years and enjoy the money you are making when you are young and healthy. The book also explains how to distinguish between a business that will replace your job and the business that will lead you to financial freedom. There are 5 commandments, and I will link them in the video description. I remember for a long time I was thinking about opening a restaurant or a cafe, and after reading this book I don't think it's such a great idea anymore. I don't say it's a bad idea, but I can see many better ideas. If you got to this point of the video, please let me know which of these books have you read, which other books maybe changed your life. I would be curious to know about it. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.